Greetings from Chicagoland. You're listening to Munira's Musings, where your host Munira will showcase new guests each week to share exciting details about the journey to their niches. As we like to say, the riches are in the niches, and on this show, we'll share ideas on how to break through our invisible boundaries so we can start taking steps towards our dreams and create the life that we most desire. If you're passionate about impacting lives, then this podcast will give you some great ideas and equip you with the tools to quickly grow your business. Okay, let's get started with today's show. Here's your host, Munira.
Fabulous.
Yeah, we can start the recording, and I'm going to go to Facebook, and then after we go to Facebook, like in a few weeks or so, you'll get an email saying that it's been published. Now you can go listen to in the world.
So, yeah, if you send me all that information, then I can promote it and put it on my social media and my email marketing. When I have that information.
So give me a description of how to talk about this. I know I have it in the one sheet, but I can't copy and paste it. So what are we going to talk about? Vegan, you said vegan.
Vegan interior design. I'm the leading expert in vegan interior design. I've been doing it for the last 14 years, interior design for the last 14 years.
Then you have to explain to the world what that means.
Yes.
So then you can go to my profile and share it on yours. So now it's already been live streamed. It says we are alive, but I still have to be sure.
Yeah, it says it's streaming live on Facebook. Okay, I didn't realize that you were going to stream it live, which is fine. I just wish I'd known. I would have put a notice or something.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Greetings from Chicagoland. Welcome to another episode of Munira's Musings. How are you, everybody? We bring this show because we want everybody out there who are still thinking about entrepreneurship or have dived into this sea with us, figure out what their niche is, right? And we bring different guests every week so that you can see from their experience how they have evolved into their niche. And it's okay if you don't have a niche and you're trying to evolve, that's okay too. Our guest today is here from New Jersey. Welcome, Risha. How are you?
Fabulous. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, Risha, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I have been an interior designer since 2009. I have been a vegan interior designer for the past 7 years.
So what does that mean, vegan interior design?
A lot of people think that being a vegan is a dietary choice, but it really isn't. It is a lifestyle choice. And so if you're just talking about diet, you're talking about plant-based. But if you're talking about being a vegan, it's about the choice to not use, abuse, or use any kind of animal as anything other than a sentient being. So that would mean that your choices then would be not to use any animal products throughout all aspects of your life, whether that's food, clothing, body products, and in my case, interior design. So in your home. As a vegan interior designer, I do not utilize any animal products. I find alternatives for those in order to create wonderful spaces for my clients.
So I want to hear your story about interior design. So was this a passion about, and I'll get back to the vegan part of it, but let's get to the story. So
Sure.
You said you've been in interior design for almost 14 years.
Yes.
How did you fall into this? Was this something you went to school with, or?
I did. Well, I have always loved moving furniture around and designing rooms, and I would do it for my friends and my family. I'd walk in, I'm like, okay, we got to move this furniture around. We got to move this here, put this there. And I was thinking, well, I could do this for a living. And I started going to the New York School of Interior Design, taking classes and part-time. And I acquired a lot of skills through my classes at New York School of Interior Design. And then I was going through a divorce, and I ended up getting a really big client, and something had to give. And so I stopped taking classes, and I just launched into having a design business, helping clients create homes that they love. And now I make my living from it.
That is amazing. Now, why is an interior design important? Like, why would you need one?
Well, I believe that people buy their homes, and that will probably be the largest, biggest investment they ever make in their life. And now they have this beautiful home they spent tons of money on, tons of time in, and it should reflect and help the homeowner live their best and fullest life. It should reflect the kind of lifestyle they have, the kind of person they are. It should allow them to come back to their home from being out in the world and rejuvenate, revitalize. And that's why I believe it's really important that your home is a reflection of you. It should not only make you feel good and make you want to be home and help you create yourself, but it should also function as well as possible for you and your lifestyle. And that's where interior design is so important.
So in your, people buy furniture, they put it together. Okay, this is how it's going to be. And then some people never utilize somebody like you. No. And then, it's years before they start to change. So in your opinion, how often should people just revamp furniture?
I don't think you have to do it often. I think that the key is that when you're doing it is to really do a lot of thinking about what colors do you like, what patterns do you like, what is the best. I mean, these are things I do for my clients. It becomes an intimate conversation, intimate relationship with them, because I have to understand them in order to create the kind of environment that is going to work best for them. I'm not creating for myself. I'm creating for them. So I get to know my client, and then I understand who they are and what their lifestyle is. And that means what kind of arrangement, what is the room being used for? Why are they coming into this room? What is the best function for the room? How can we get the most use of the room so that you want to use the room, the space as much as possible? And it works for not just maybe one idea like a dining room. Maybe it's not just a dining room, only a dining room. Maybe there's other ways that we can utilize it that make you want to come into the space and be there. So as if you're doing it yourself, it's really thinking before making the purchases. It's not like, oh, well, we need a sofa to sit on. Okay, we'll just put the sofa here. No, there's so many choices of sofas, so many layouts that are available, and what's going to create the best possible outcome for you. What are those ideas? What are those needs that you have?
That's awesome, right? Okay, so let's go back to your journey. And you said, so 14 years you've been working into it, and then now you decided to evolve in your niche and become a vegan interior designer. Mm-hmm. So what happened there, and what was the change that happened?
Well, what happened was I decided to become a vegan. Well, actually just plant-based. I decided to change my diet. And I thought, oh, okay, I'll go plant-based and see, it'll help my health. I've been doing some reading about it. And I thought, okay, let me try that and see. And if I don't like it, I'll go back. Well, once I got in to a deep dive about what a plant-based diet is and what veganism is, I realized that it wasn't just a dietary choice. It was, for me, it became a moral choice. It became the kind of lifestyle that I wanted to embrace. And then I quickly realized, because I'm an interior designer, I'm always dealing in furnishings and home spaces and decor, that, man, I'm a hypocrite. Here I've decided not to eat animals because I'm taking a moral stand, and yet I'm selling them. I'm selling them to my clients. And I thought that doesn't work. I have to align my personal choices with my business principles. And that's where I said, okay, going forward, I'm not going to utilize animal products in interior design. Now, interior design does utilize and is quite prolific in animal products.
So how would you know, like if I went couch shopping, right, or table shopping, how would I know that they've used animal products in there?
Well, it's a conversation and it's asking questions. We're aware of, I guess there are a number of products that we use in our homes that we would know are animal products, like leather, animal product, wool, animal product. Leather is used in upholstery for many uses. Wool in carpet, in, again, upholstery. Down, that's something kind of hidden because you don't see it. Down is used in upholstery. I guarantee that most people have some down product in their bedding, whether a duvet, pillows. It's used prolifically, but that's not something you see. So then it's knowing what are these animal products, and I know because I'm in the industry, where are they being used, and finding alternatives for them.
So you said down, right? You don't see it, but it's in your blankets, it's in your pillows, yes. Right? And then, what's the alternative?
There's a polyfills. There's lots of great alternatives now that mimic exactly how down is. Down, if you have a down pillow, it gets squashed and mush, but you can fluff it up. Well, polyfill, there's good polyfills now that have the same characteristics as down. They look and feel like it, but there's no difference between the down and the polyfill.
And then for leather couches, like that's a big thing because they keep their shape, they keep whatever. I mean, if you don't abuse it, this furniture can last you for a long time.
Absolutely.
So what is the alternative for leather then?
There are leather alternatives. There's tons of beautiful alternatives for leather, actually. And you've probably heard in the automobile industry, there are choices now for not using leather. They have alternative leathers instead of the real leather for car upholstery. So there's tons of great alternatives for leather. I personally am not a big fan of a leather sofa, but there's lots of other fabric alternatives that can be used instead of leather. And it's not going to compromise your design.
So when you talk about, I mean, when people are seeking you out, do they know that, do they seek you out because of your vegan mentality, or is it because that you do such a wonderful job, or both?
I would say I've had a few people and I've had a few clients that are vegan that have searched me out. But for the most part, people come to me because they like my website, my designs, my ideas. It really is a relationship. It's a relationship between me and my client. And so if you're looking for an interior designer, my advice is to have a conversation. Are you going to be able to converse and get intimate and talk about your life with this person and feel comfortable, because it's not an overnight quick success like we see in so many TV programs. It is a process. It takes months to really create the kind of space that you're looking to have.
So you said intimate, right?
Yes.
So give me an example of a intimate conversation that you would have. I mean, just a few.
Well, I'm designing a bedroom. So it's, what side of the bed do you sleep on? What do you need when you're in bed? What kind of things do you have on your side table? What feeling do you want to evoke? You're going to have to express yourself to, what you're feeling, how you want to feel, what you want to, what you want to feel in that room. I want to feel like that I can come home, it's peaceful, it's zen. I don't like color. I get really agitated when I'm faced with a lot of pattern. Those kind of personal details about your likes and dislikes.
Okay, I see. So you mean personal like that. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. No, somebody don't know. Nobody, people don't ask, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And just people like the furniture and they go get it. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. And
right. And that's my goal. My goal is to make happy clients, that they want to come home, that they want to sit and be in their home, and it feels like their home. It doesn't feel like the showroom down the street. It doesn't feel like their neighbor's room. It doesn't look like the room on TV that, might look great, but doesn't feel good because it's not who they are.
okay, all right. So what advice do you give to clients? I mean, this is a very different niche. We've never had anybody who was interior designs and specializes in vegan. But what advice do you tell clients when they are shopping for furniture or anything? Like if they're looking for a interior design or they're looking for furniture?
If you are looking for interior design, help. Have a conversation with the interior designer and talk to 2 or 3 interior designers to see how you feel about working with them. As an interior designer, I do the work for my clients. So they're not going out and purchasing furniture. We're having conversations. I'm coming back and presenting to them the options for the room. And I'm very good at understanding my client and then presenting to them what they have expressed to me to create the room that they want. So once you hire an interior designer, don't hold back. Let them know, because the more they know you, the better they can help you. If you're doing it yourself, ask yourself a lot of questions. If you are wanting to create a family room, don't just settle with the first, oh, well, I like that couch. Well, why that couch? Is it going to create the look you want? Is it going to allow you to have the most seating that you need? Is it going to be comfortable? Is it going to be the right color? And don't just look at your choices separately. As an interior designer, it's a whole package. It's how the pieces work together. So with my clients, if I do give options, because there's not just one way of doing it. I have ideas about, well, we could kind of go this way, and maybe you'll like this, so this style. But once we've settled and created a design, if just changing out one fabric can upset the whole design package, because it's all intertwined. It's how the patterns and the colors work with each other, the shape, the size of the furniture, it's all interwoven.
Okay. And then last advice, you've talked about talk with your interior design, but then also feel it. Now, many times people go into a showroom, they like something, And I know there are some companies, we won't mention names, but once you buy it and you touch it and it comes to your house, you can't return it.
That's right.
So how then can you take the piece of furniture in your head and say, is this going to fit? Is this going to work with me? Or how do you do that? I mean, you can't bring the furniture home and take it back. So
no, I mean, that's what I do, and I do it all the time. So I'm very familiar with how spaces work and creating a space. If you're doing it yourself, it's a trial and error. It's just like an accountant, or you go to an accountant or lawyer because they have that specialty. They are able to help you and not make mistakes. I have a lot of people who start off doing it themselves and then come to me and say, oh my goodness, this is way beyond my abilities. So you have to, if you're going to do it yourself, you have to give yourself a break because you're not used to doing it. It's not something that you do every day. And the fact is that if you design your home, you're not going to do it for another 15, 20 years, most likely. So these are thoughts and ideas that you're only going to have occasionally. I have them all the time. I think about it all the time. So I'm very familiar with what the outcome is.
Right? It's your job.
It's my job. Exactly.
And so, and then when you go out and look at other people, like if you're working with different, or I think in your case, you may not be working, but you know what the trends are and what's happening in the industry, what the new fad is or whatever.
Sure.
You keep up with those trends.
Right. And fads I'm not a fad girl, but I'm always in touch with the new collections that are coming out, the new products that are available. So, which just gives you more options and more variety to create the space you want. As a layperson, it can be very overwhelming because we may have ideas about what we want. We just don't know how to get there. That's what I do. I know that if you have this idea, this is what we need to do to create and manifest that look, that idea, that style.
So it's like that in every business or everything that you start out is like, figure out what is it that you want, right?
Yeah.
And why you want it and how you want it. And maybe have a mental picture. And then figure out, do some shopping, go. I mean, if you're doing this yourself, right?
Yeah.
If you can always get Risha to come.
Absolutely.
She's been going to Canada and I don't know where.
The West Coast, Palm Springs and North Vermont. I travel anywhere, and I also work remotely. So
there you go. But if you're doing this yourself, then you have to feel.
It's not an overnight decision, and this is you want to make a good investment. So you're not just saying, okay, I'm going to buy this $1,000 couch because it's $1,000, and that's what there's lots of choices about the price of the couch, and you might be better off spending $2,000 on a couch. You might be better off going up in a better grade because this room is your main family room. And so you want to invest in those pieces that are going to last and be durable for a long time. You don't want to be doing this again in 3 years, 2 years, 6 months.
I get it. But so that's the whole thing is that, you have to put some thought into it. Basically, that's what Risha is saying, is that put yourself in that position of understanding why you want something. And better still, if you don't want to do this, just get Risha.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why we hire lawyers, accountants, mechanics, because they know what they're doing. You're paying for my time and my experience, my knowledge. And I'm going to make sure you don't make any mistakes. I give you choices that you can't make mistakes. And we're going to save you a lot of time and money. Time is money.
There you go, my friends. So it's a different niche, right? This is a completely different niche. But the fact of the matter is, put some thought into this. because it is just like everything you do. It's not just getting your house done. If you would do the same thing if you were buying a house or buying a car, and why, ask yourself those questions, because you need to figure out that the choice you're making right now, like she said, you're not buying a couch for 3 years. What you're going to do is you're going to use that for another at least 10 a decade, but you want to make those choices so that you're happy with those purchases. And that's what I gotta say today, because this is, we've had a lot of coaches out here. We've had a lot of different niches, but this was a very unique niche because, one, it is your space, and two, it's vegan, right? Now, you've got some idea of what not to do if you are in that train of thought, but you can always look up Risha. Risha, where do people find you?
You can check me on my website, which is walden-interiors.com. I'm on Facebook, Walden Interiors. I'm on Instagram, LinkedIn, and I would love to hear from you if you are listening to this and you would like to have a dream discovery call. Just call me up and say Munira is musing, and I'll know what you heard and who you are. So, and I can help you with that.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So one of the things that I've learned is that where you stay, your area, your office, wherever you are, has to be special to you. It has to be your space. And one way to create it is to hire Risha, or create a space just for you with what you want, and look at a few examples and see if that resonates with you. But the idea is put some thought into it. That's what I'm getting out of this today. And ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you've heard, go ahead and share, like, and subscribe to this channel, because we will bring you a different entrepreneur with a different idea, different niche, different advice, and have you talk to them and listen to what they are sharing, because every person has a unique experience, and every person is going to give you a different advice, but it's going to help you jump into the entrepreneurial sea and come along and swim with us. It's always a fun thing. Thank you, Risha. Thank everybody, and we will see you next week with a new guest.
Thanks, Munira.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Munira's Musings. We hope that you found today's conversation inspiring and useful, so that you can continue making progress towards mastering your own niche. Please tune in next week for another episode, and in the meantime, you can follow us on social media at Munira's Musings on Facebook, and leave us a review wherever you're listening to podcasts. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.